I mean, as a lawyer, we started out talking about certain requirements, NYSC surveys, do you have to serve, what does the law say as a minister? And we thought, well, yeah, the president, the Senate, they must have gone through the laws and the books to nominate and screen and confirm the Minister of Arts and Culture, Hannatu Musawa. So perhaps from the point of law, what does he say about it? Is there something that people are missing about this?
Oh, well, I would like to begin with the fact that kudos to the draftsmen who were able to make a timeline for this exercise of appointment, screening, and engagement of ministers to be done within a particular timeline. Otherwise, maybe by now, perhaps we would have still be expecting ministerial lists will be still politicking around that. So the timeline that was created for the president, the governors to appoint or submit their nominees to the National Assembly and to the House of Assemblies have also made us to at least get to this point where we are now. So kudos to the, is it the 9th Assembly? Mm-hmm. Kudos to them. So you can see how late the list came, even in some states, has to rigmarole over the timeline to meet the deadline. So to your question then, I think the requirement for being a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is very clear. The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria made it clear in section 147. And going to the soul of the matter at hand, section 147, section 5 of the Constitution, subsection 5 of this provision makes it clear that for you to be a minister of the Federal Republic, you must be qualified for election into the House of Representatives. So if one is nominated by the president, it must be that this person, this candidate, is qualified ab initio to run for House of Representatives. That is the basic qualification. Then you now look at what are the qualifications for running for House of Representatives. The Constitution is very clear too. The primary requirement is that you must be a citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The age requirement is that you must be 25 years at least. So this minister, I was listening to your program, Marpe said honorable minister and minister. So both of them, I don't know which one to use. This minister in issue meets, I think, the age requirement, also meets the citizenship requirement. Another requirement is educational qualification. That is where we are hovering around on this issue of NYSC. It says SSCE, or first school living certificate. Yeah. First school living certificate. And then you go down to...
First school, that's primary school.
Primary school. Oh. Yes. Then you talk about criminal record, and then bankruptcy, and then employment in any other federal or state civil service. These are the requirements for one to be a member of House of Reps, which automatically qualifies one also to be a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So the issue is this NYSC controversy on the minister. Where does it come in? For me, it comes in more on the side of conventions, more than on the side of legality or criminality. Because if you look at section 13 of the NYSC Establishment Act, it makes it clear that you have to be what? Ready to serve, and your refuser, one who refuses to serve, commits a criminal offense. It is in the refusal to serve that the offense arises. And if you are a graduate, like she's a lawyer, of course, she did not acquire LLB, BL from secondary school or primary school. She must have gone to university to graduate and go to law school and all that. So basically, she is not talking about I am primary school or this. She is talking about I am serving. And that NYSC Act in section 13 says a graduate who refuses to serve is liable for an offense, 2 years imprisonment, and or 4,000 naira
fine.
Fine, 4,000 naira fine.
Okay, but if I could jump in, pardon me.
Yeah, come in.
The question of refusing to serve, will it arise if I do not intend to use my university degree for any employment purposes in the country?
It definitely arises once the record shows you are a graduate. That section says a graduate.
But for instance, politicians...
A graduate that refuses to serve.
For instance, politicians, even if you have a PhD, some of them, they will go and present first school living certificate or SSCE degree for eligibility to contest elections.
Yes, so, yes, you need to separate something here. You need to do a kind of distinguishing between one's readiness
to serve.
One's readiness to make available his or her a certificate of NYSC discharge certificate, and the law as to whether it is a requirement. The law here says that you have to be as qualified as a House of Reps member.
Which is first school living certificate.
Yes.
So you don't need to send the NYSC certificate.
The question, that is where the line is.
So what's the point of being ready to serve if I don't tender?
Like I said at the beginning, convention requires that the president, the National Assembly, the leadership, the country ought not to encourage this kind of scenario where others who are yet to serve will start feeling, I can be a minister without NYSC certificates. Where others who have endeavored to serve will now start feeling, what's the essence of all these things? Because, are you telling me that the state where this candidate is from, this minister is from, that will run shortage of people with lesser controversies, controversial qualifications, or lesser, what will I call it? No, this has to do with convention.
But there are governors who only tendered SSC certificates too, and
no, this is critical. This is a separate issue for me because the minister in question is a lawyer. Okay, the minister in question is assigned the art and culture. So when we begin to imagine what is the issue, is it that we are looking at her expertise or her milestones in the art and culture and tourism section that the president, the leadership says it must be this person that must be in this position? Ordinarily, you could go for someone that is with lesser controversial qualifications on this particular NYSC because you are talking about serving the nation further. The primary service you've not rendered. The primary service, although it is not a mandatory requirement of the law for you to serve, but it is basically conventional that this has to be. But she has done something smart.
She's serving.
She's serving. She is serving. That is the issue. She has not refused to serve. The NYSC Act says refuses to serve, and now she is serving. But that puts us again on the table of convention and doing things right in the country.
You know, I'm just thinking. So it means if you have to be a minister, say, petroleum.
Yes.
Or education. But we know in NNPC, they require what? First degree, second degree, sometimes third degree. So if I only have SSC, then I can preside over all of the, wow. Just...
You can be Minister of Petroleum Resources, even with your secondary school. So maybe, indeed, maybe our laws need to be looked at again, because some people will say, you mean our laws actually envisage a situation whereby we'll have only a school cert leaver residing over, very important ministries like that?
But the issue is this. Are we going to write everything ABC as a constitution, everything and put it into a law? No. Otherwise, our constitution will be as big as Zuma Rock. There are things that we should know that conventionally that this is not proper. There are actions and decisions of government, although politically correct, that sends the negative signals into the nation. You understand?
Right.
So, because one that is serving as a core member and at the same time serving as a minister, Well, it's an innovation we are.
A super core member.
It's an innovation. So on Thursday, you should go for what is called
PPE.
Yes, and then.
And I hear in NYSC now you have to physically go and do your what's that verification?
These are the areas that I'm looking at. Is it conventional?